Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me on this check-in Monday. Today is Monday, February the 8th, and we're just excited and happy, of course, to be here and to share on this evening. And I pray and trust that you've had a good time, a good day. Hey, see Arlington, Texas, Dorothy, June, Sister Hall, to see you. Pray and trust y'all had a good day today. It's been a great, wonderful day in the ATL. It's been nice. The weather's been nice. It's been a good day. And we're just excited and happy for what has happened today and the great day that it's been. Let me, first of all, say that we want to just send our condolences to my friend, my brother, family, Dr. Douglas Miller. Of course, great person for singing. We were friends, met him over 30 years ago, and what a tremendous individual. We remember him by the song, My Soul Has Been Anchored in the Lord, and he just great individual, nice person. About 2 years ago, he came to, he called me one Sunday morning and said, I am on my way to church this morning, and I'm bringing some people with me. And he came and blessed our house, and we're going to miss him, and we appreciate his ministry. We're praying for his family. I see you in New York City. Yeah. My God, it's raining, bro. Charles, raining up there. I see Sister Walker, Locust Grove. Is that Virginia? I guess that is Virginia. Good to have you. Good to see you. Naomi Harris, hello, how you doing? Great to see all of you tonight. Let me just share with you, the last 2 weeks have been sharing with you concerning just when you don't understand what's going on as far as death and all the other things that are taking place. And tonight I want to talk to you about monitor your progress toward your grieving, your hurting, your disappointment. You monitor your progress on your way to healing. It needs to be monitored. And I want to say this to you that I really began to deal with this when I was in the hospital back in August. I noticed something that they did the whole time that I was in the hospital up until the last day I was in the hospital. When I first went in, they hooked me up to all of these things. And the first thing they did before they even placed me in a room was they started an IV. They put an IV, and then they put these patches, I guess, I don't know what they're called, they're patches. They put them on my chest. And in putting them on my chest, they began to hook me up to this machine to monitor. Then they put a little bit of thing on my finger to monitor. And so everything was being monitored, my blood pressure, my oxygen level, my everything. They were monitoring me. And that's how they sort of kept in touch. I didn't know what all these things were. All I knew is they were doing all these things, and they kept saying the number here and the number there. I had no clue what that meant, but they were monitoring me, not just in the room, but even from a distance. They were monitoring my progress. They kept watching to see how I was doing. And I never forget, it was like the last day, the last night I was there, about 2:30 in the morning, the lady came in the room about 2:30 in the morning. She just sort of busted in the room, and she said, Mr. Martin, Mr. Martin. I was like, okay. And she said, she was talking on this little thing, and she said, did you see him? And she said, yeah, he's here. And I was trying to figure out what was going on, but what had happened was somewhere the connection between the monitor and my heart and the things that they had on my chest and my finger had went out. And so they thought they had lost me some kind of way. I don't know if they thought I was dead or what, but they thought they had lost me. And so, Hasten Space, they thought they had lost me. And so she said, then she said to the lady, oh, it's back working. And on the other end, I heard the lady or whoever say, yeah, we see him now. They were monitoring me. They weren't even in the room, but when it stopped, they knew something was wrong. They were keeping a monitor on me. And then sometimes when we go to even the hospital or the doctor, They like to monitor us. Even after we've gotten out, they say, come back. Let's do a follow-up so we can monitor your progress. What are they doing that for? They're doing that for the simple reason is they know that even though you're out of the hospital, you may feel better, but it does not mean that you are completely healed or you completely better. So they want to monitor you. And I suggest to you tonight in these next few moments that I need those of us to monitor our progress toward our healing. Sometimes you're grieving, you're going through, there's some things that are happening in your life, and you need to monitor your progress. Just because, we need to understand, just because you feel better don't always mean you're healed. You can physically look better and still not be healed in the grieving process, be healed in hurting or your disappointments in life. You're not healed. And sometimes, even though you look better on the outside, on the inside, you're still hurting. You're still dealing with that. And so we have to keep monitoring that. And the thing we have to do is not only monitor that, but we have to be honest about what we are monitoring. We have to be honest when we monitor our progress. Sometimes you've got to say to yourself, not everyone else, sometimes you've got to say to yourself, I'm not better. You've got to say to yourself, I'm still dealing with this. You got to say to yourself, stuff is still happening. These things are still going on. And you have to monitor yourself. You got to monitor. It's okay to say, I'm still dealing with this. It's okay to say weeks later or whatever, I'm still having issues when it comes to this. And emotionally, I'm not okay. Or mentally, I'm not okay. It's okay to do that because you have to be able to monitor your progress honestly. What happens to us is we sometimes allow people to push us into a false narrative, into a false place where we're not being honest about what we're facing. We're not being honest about what's happening. We're not being honest about it at all. And so what we end up doing is we end up like going to the doctor and the doctor say, do you feel okay? Yes. Are you having any pain? No. How things going? Fine. Now, you could be in pain standing there, but you're not going to tell him you're in pain because you don't want him to put you back in the hospital. You don't want him to give you no more medicine. So you'll tell him, I'm feeling better, and then go back home and try to deal with the pain yourself. You'll tell people, I feel great, and then go back and deal with the pain yourself. Sometimes you have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves and said, I'm not having a good day today. This is one of those days. Nothing wrong with that. I know church people make you feel something's wrong with that and you being weak. No, I'm being human. I'm having a bad day today. Don't mean I'm having them every day, but today I'm having a day. So I'm monitoring my progress. I'm better than I was. And I'm still grieving or I'm still hurt because this goes past grief and goes past hurt. This goes even past, it goes to being disappointed in life and disappointments. And you have to monitor yourself because if you don't monitor yourself, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up being bitter and you'll become bitter about things and toward people and toward life and things that have affected you. And sometimes your bitterness will come out when you least expect it. So you have to make it in your mind that I'm not going to allow myself not to monitor my progress. I need to keep a monitoring on my progress and see how far I've gotten. I know I'm better when I can look at certain things and it don't affect me the way it used to. Even though it still affects me, it don't affect me as bad, but it still affects me. So I have to monitor that. I got to monitor my progress, and I can't allow you to push me and act like I'm crazy because I'm doing this. That's why I don't criticize people when they have bad experiences, somebody die or whatever, and you see them doing a lot of posts. They're posting pictures, they're posting videos. That's a way of healing. That's a way of progressing. That's a way of monitoring where they are. And they have to do that. That's important in our healing process because sometimes you have to do that and you got to monitor yourself. Sometimes, they'll monitor you when they're not around, but they'll monitor how you're going. What's your progress? They're trying to see how close you are to being better. And some of us, we've allowed people to make us feel that something's wrong with us because we're trying to monitor our progress. We're trying to see where we are. Where am I in this process? Am I still grieving like I was? Is grief still taking a hold of me? Am I moving into the area of depression? Am I moving into that area? I need to monitor that. I need to know, am I becoming where I become secluded, where I get to myself and don't want to be bothered with people? I'm not interacting with people. I need to monitor that. I need to know where I am. How am I dealing with what has happened? Even if you've been hurt, you need to know how you're dealing with those things. And even if you've been disappointed, how close am I to, if not being totally healed, how close am I to being better than I was? How close am I? How far? How far have I gotten? Where am I in this process? And if you don't monitor yourself, sometimes it's good to have people that can help you, that you trust. That, hey, Pastor Johnson, have people that you trust that can help monitor you. Hey, twin, I understand. I got a twin on here. Her twin sister passed last year, and she's still trying to figure that out. Devastated, hurt by it, still trying to understand it. And people, I have to say this. Sometimes people, when you don't know, if you've never been there, then you don't understand. And so it's easy for you to say what people should get over real quickly, how they should deal with something, how they should deal with the pain of something. You don't know. I love you too. You don't know how they should deal with it. I had my nephew that just lost his mother call me, I think it was last week, and he said, Unc, I just called you. I just needed to talk to you. Well, what's going on? I know you lost your mother. So I know you know how it feels to lose a mother. So I just need you to talk to me and tell me, what do I need to do? Do these things get better? And I said to him, yeah, it gets better, but it's only with time. Right now, you're in the right place because what you're feeling, you're supposed to feel. I mean, and don't let nobody tell you any different, that you're not supposed to feel that. I don't care how saved you are, filled with the Holy Ghost, you're supposed to feel that way. That's the way you're supposed to feel. You just lost your mother and you're supposed to feel that way. When people like to spiritualize everything and throw spirit on everything. And I believe in the spirit, but there's some things, give me an opportunity to be human. Give people an opportunity to be human. So that means we have to monitor our progress. There's some days you may be fine. Then there are other days you may see something or hear something that breaks you and brings you back. I'll tell you, my grandmother died December 7th, 1986. December 7th, 1976. I'm sorry, December 7th, 1976. And when she died, I was on my way to go to ROTC. I was in 10th grade. So on my way to go to ROTC. And so on my way getting ready to get up to go, we did the empty stocking thing. We stand out on the street or whatever. I was going to that. And so I went to the restroom to get ready to go. And I heard a loud noise. So I came out and she was laying halfway off the bed. And I called out to my aunt and said, grandmother, I thought she had fell out of bed. And we got her back up in the bed and I was holding her. And she took her last breath while I was holding her in my arms. Notice now, here I am. I'm just turned 16. So she took her last breath while I'm holding her in my arms, okay? And I didn't know she took her last breath. So I went to pick, I think, my aunt or somebody up, and we saw the ambulance going. And so we thought that, that was them taking her to the hospital. And so during that time, we didn't have cell phones and all that. So I went back to the house. And we got back to the house, they were bringing her out of the house. And on the way to the hospital during that time, it was December, and they were playing. We were playing in the car. Walter Hawkins song with Tremaine Hawkins singing "A Change Has Come Over Me." Never forget that day. I was playing that song Sunday morning, playing it in the car, and got back. Now to this day, 40 some years later, whenever I hear that song, I don't cry, but that song takes me back to that Sunday morning, December 7th, 1976. I'm better than I was, but every time I hear that song, it takes me back. Every time I hear it. It's never a time that fails that I hear it. No matter who's singing it, it takes me back to December 7th, 1976. And you would say, well, Pastor Martin, that's 40-some years ago. You should be fine. It does not matter if I'm fine or not. I'm still dealing with that because my grandmother raised me. So some 40-some years later, every time I hear that song, I'm still like, whew. That's how we have to understand. We got to deal with things. You got to give yourself time to heal, to monitor your progress. Don't allow people to push you past until you don't, just get over it. You get over it. I'm going to take time and monitor my grieving, my healing, my process, because I understand if I don't grieve, I can't heal. Grieving is a part of what I've got to do. And if I don't grieve and get through the grieving process, then something about me is not going to be right. And so I need to get through this, and I need to monitor. And as time covers things, I said last week, time takes care of a lot of things. As time covers things, then what happens to me is I find myself getting better than I was. Now I find myself, I can pick up a thing that belongs to the person that I lost, and I can look at it, or I can look at their things. I can look at their tapes. I can hear them sing. Why? Because it's the grieving, and it's gradually been something I've been able to do, and now I'm getting to that place. Don't mean that I don't miss them. It's just meaning that I'm getting better than I was. And you got to get better. I hear you, twin. What if you never do? It's going to take time. You'll get there, but it's going to take time. And you may never be totally healed from grieving. You may never get to the total place. You'll get better. Time just has to take care of it. And you've got to allow time to take care of what's going on. I mean, it's like it's like people that we don't hit the snooze button, but you set your clock for 15 minutes advance. You set it if you want to get up at 10, you set it for 10:15. Well, that's good, but it doesn't do anything different with time. It still takes time to do what you got to do. And church has taught us how to rush everything. Yeah, I said that. Church has taught us how to rush everything. Everyone's in a rush to get healed. Everyone's in a rush. You're right, Pastor Johnson. If you don't grieve right, you will not heal right. We're in a rush to do everything. We're in a rush to be better. We're in a rush to heal. Let me monitor my progress. And I said to you last week, sometimes when members have death and stuff, and sometimes they don't come to church right away, or sometimes they're sitting there, I go check on them, but I don't try to rush them through it. I pray with them and ask God to bless them, but I don't rush them through it because I want them to be okay. I want them to be better. And if you rush through it, I'm telling you, this is no exaggeration. If you go to rushing through stuff, you will develop different things that will just come out of you. And one of the things that you will develop if you rush your grieving, especially if you don't understand it, is like when you hurt, you can take it out on people. When you're disappointed, you take it out on the people that disappointed you, or the people that didn't disappoint you, take it out on them. When you hurt, take it out on the people that hurt you or the people that didn't hurt you. But then when grieving, what happens in grieving, it takes you to the pinnacle. It takes you to the place that you didn't want to be, and that is getting angry with God. Now that's real talk. You can get angry with God because you be like, God, I don't get this. I don't understand. And I'm not even going to sit here and make y'all feel that that's not true, because that is the whole truth. If you don't get grieving right, you get angry with God. You'll stop going to church. You'll stop praying. You'll stop reading the Bible. You'll just stop, especially if you were sometime on fence anyway. You'll be like, I'm just not going to do it no more. I'm done. I'm done. I don't understand. And if you don't really heal right, you'll go back to you'll do stuff that could be harmful to yourself. You can. So that's why you got to let this thing work out. Keep monitoring your progress. Keep telling yourself, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better than I am. Yeah, and you're right. Hurt people. And all of us has done that. When you hurt, you launch out at people. You get angry with people, especially in the grieving process. Now, don't let nobody fool you. When you're grieving, it don't take but just one thing to tip you off. I mean, it could be, and people maybe didn't mean no harm, but it could be one little thing. You become more sensitive. You become more aggravated. And it just take one little thing to make you go all the way to the left. And that's why I tell people, when people have lost loved ones, y'all leave them alone. Don't you do that. Don't you say crazy stuff, because people will go to the left on you, and sometimes they don't mean no harm, but they will go. And so you don't have to watch that. And so in grieving, that's why it's important to monitor yourself in grieving, because you don't ever want to get to the place that you be angry with God and people and everybody else, and you go off and you do stuff and you be like, Lord, I done went all the way to the left. I didn't mean to do that. That's not my character. That's not the way I am. But I'm telling you, you will do that, and you'll be like, oh, Lord, help me. And so monitor your progress. I really want you to do that. I want you to monitor your progress and just say to yourself, I'm going to keep on monitoring my progress. I need to make sure that I'm better. And if you got good friends that you trust, let them, if you got somebody that you can talk to and they can be a support to you, then let them help monitor your progress. Let them help tell you and talk to you when you need to talk about stuff and when you need to get stuff out. It's important to have a support system of people that won't judge you, people that you can talk to, people that can tell you, it's going to be all right. And even sometimes people that can tell you other things. You have to be able to do that. And you need people in your life to be able to help you. I've got friends and people that have lost loved ones, and sometimes I'm very supportive, and then sometimes I can be very what I call hard love, just trying to push them past a certain place that they are. And sometimes you have to do that because if you don't do that, sometimes you find yourself, they can be stuck. And it's so easy to get stuck. Watch this. Here's another thing why you got to monitor your progress. It's easy to get stuck in your grieving. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. It's easy to get stuck in your grieving. It's easy to get stuck. Twin, we're going to do that. We're going to talk about it, have some sessions. It's easy to get stuck in your grieving. When I tell you so easy, I don't think people understand the weight that comes with grieving. I don't think people understand the weight that comes with it. In one case, Job says, my stroke is heavier than my groaning. And you got to understand, sometimes I can put on a mask and and on the outside. That's the thing about mask today. When you got on the mask, let me see, can I find a mask? I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna get out of here, but I want to show you all this because I think it's important for us to see this. When you got on a mask, it's easy, and people can't see things when you got on the mask. Watch this. If I'm grieving and I got on this mask, now what y'all don't see underneath this is I'm smiling, but you can't see it. And even if I'm frowning, you can't see it. If I take this off and I do this, you can say he's smiling. If I take it off and I look like this, you can say he's going through something. But when I put it on, you can't see it. And it's safe to say in our grieving, a lot of us have the mask on. And people just don't understand the weight of the hurt, the weight of the disappointment, the weight of a grief and the grieving. And that's why you got to monitor yourself, that to say to yourself, I got to monitor myself to getting better because I can't wear the mask forever. And I got to get better that when I do smile, I'm not just pushing a smile. I'm not smiling to keep from hurting or smiling to cover my hurt or my grieving, but I'm smiling from a place that I'm getting better. And every day, even though it may be hard, I'm smiling a little more every day. Because if you don't do that, you just, you put yourself in the hands of people that don't know how to deal with it. And I refuse to put myself in the hands of people that just don't know how to deal with my grief. We really need God to do something for us and touch us and heal us. And we need to let him do it his way, in his time. Don't rush it. Don't make nobody make you rush it. Every day you think about stuff, and it's a painful thing every day that you go through. And so you got to allow yourself to get to the place that you get healed, you get better, you feel better. But monitor your own progress. Monitor where you are. And where you are, be real with where you are. And just deal with where you are. I'm going to deal with where I am. I might not tell everybody where I am, but I'm going to deal with it. I just want to be transparent with you all that you're dealing with stuff. You deal with these things. You deal with it every day. And it's something that you have to look at and say, you know what? I'm going to monitor my progress. And guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to rush. I'm going to let it take time. I told y'all last week, the thing that the doctors, when I've always went to the doctor and they had to give me antibiotics, the one thing that I always remember every one of them saying, don't take half of it. Don't take half of the medicine because you feel better. Take it all the way until you're done. That's what you got to do with this. Because I'm telling you, I'm just dealing with grief. Hey, pass it along. I'm just dealing with grief. But let's just think about hurt, disappointment. When you hurt and disappointment, you say stuff that you didn't mean to say. You do stuff you didn't mean to do. But you were hurt. You were disappointed. That's why people that are hurt, Lord, help me get out here. I'm on too long. That's why people that are hurt and disappointed and have disappointment, that's why sometimes they launch out at people. And sometimes you got to take a step back, monitor your progress, and then you got to learn to hold your mouth. Sometimes you can't even say what you want to say. You got to hold it. Somebody say, you think, oh yeah. Let me say this and I'm going to be through. Have you ever seen online, whether it's a husband and a wife, and the husband is up, or the wife is upset with the husband, and she gets online, they got kids and everything, and she gets online and she tells he's no good, he's this, he's that, he's a cheater, he's a this, he's a that, and she just go the whole 9 yards. She's hurt. She's saying that out of hurt and bitterness. But then 4 weeks later, she feels better. They back together. But now that they're back together, everything she said, everyone else didn't forget it. Everyone remembers everything she said. And now she wants everybody else to feel good about him after the stuff she told them about him, that he was no good. What we have to do is we have to learn to do this. Bridle our tongue, hold our mouths until we feel better. Then that way we won't have that issue that everyone else now looks at him funny, and you like, why y'all looking at him funny? Child, you said he wasn't no good. You should have held that. That's something you shouldn't have probably said. But that's why I say you got to monitor yourself, because when you're hurt and disappointed, we say a lot of stuff that we can't take back. Am I making sense? We say a lot of stuff we can't take back. You be like, well, you the one put it out there. We didn't. You the one told us all that. You told us he wasn't no good. You told us this, and it could be vice versa. I'm not just saying the lady, it could be the man too. But I'm just saying when you put your business out there like that. That's why when you angry, sometimes it's best to go take a drive. When you're angry, it's best to go somewhere and just take some time and cool off until you can calm down, and then, go things. I don't know if y'all ever remember Dave Chappelle show when it came on. He had a segment that I always used to laugh about when keeping it real goes wrong. And so sometimes when we're in grief and anger and hurt and disappointments, we can keep it real, but we got to know when to do it with level heads and not when we're angry. I try not to do anything when I'm angry. Even when my kids were coming up, I tried not to discipline them when they were when I was angry. Because you're gonna when you angry, you whipping them or whatever, you're gonna hit them somewhere you're not supposed to hit them. When you're angry, why are you angry? And you punching holes in the wall you got to fix, breaking dishes that you got to replace. What is the sense of all that? That's why we got to monitor our progress. Got to see, am I better? You should know today if you're better than you were last week or better than you were 2 months ago. All right. I got to get out of here. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank y'all for talking back to me tonight. Again, let me let this happen again so people won't think I'm on here talking to myself, because people be like, Pastor Martin just running his mouth talking to himself. I'm really not. I got a few people that listen at me, and I appreciate y'all so much for being here and just listening at what I'm saying. I probably can't get everybody on here, but I'm gonna get a lot of you on here. Let's see. I wish they had a way I could do this other thing, but it's okay. But thank y'all for commenting. And so let's pray for one another. Let me say to you tonight, let's love one another. People are going through, and people sometimes are grieving in a secret place, and you don't know where they're grieving at. You don't know what the extent of their grief is. And you can almost tell, because some people they just sort of shut down and they start closing down. And I try my best to not do that. Of course, my wife lost her sister, and she's in that grieving process right now. She is really in the grieving process, and I'm trying my best to be as supportive and with her as I can and everything. And so I know when she's dealing with it, when she's grieving, so I become more sensitive to her grieving and trying my best to help her out, make sure she's okay. And that's what we have to do with one another, whether it's friends or loved ones or whoever. It's important that you have somebody that you can touch. Somebody, sometimes you just need somebody to listen at you. You don't even need them to talk. You just need them to listen. Just let you talk. And sometimes you need that. You just need to be an ear. And if you do that, we'll be fine. Let's pray. Father, we thank you and we praise you for this time, this check-in Monday. And I pray, God, that you would help us to check in with one another, to keep loving one another, keep caring and sharing with each other. I pray that you would touch those that have lost loved ones, those that are dealing with loved ones that are sick, those that are dealing with loved ones, no matter when it was that they transitioned. I pray that you would give them strength and give them comfort. God, I pray that you would heal them, God, from the inside out. God, only you can heal our emotions, our mental state. You know where we are right now, even as we monitor our progress toward our healing. You know exactly where we are. You know where we stand. And we pray tonight that you would touch each and every person, lay hands upon them and touch them and cause them, God, to come to the place, God, that even as they're moving toward healing from grief, healing from hurt, from disappointment, I pray that you would touch now, lift and stir. God, we place our life, our care in your hands. God, help us to be that one that will be a comfort and a voice to someone that needs strength and someone that needs to hear. I pray that you touch us all. I pray, God, for someone tonight that's here or someone that will watch that say, Pastor Martin, you're talking to me. This is where I am right now. I pray, God, that time, God, will begin to move in their life, and time would bring about their deliverance, their breakthrough, their healing. Let it be so. God, I thank you that when the mask come off, that they'll smile from a genuine smile. They will, God, come from that place that they don't have to hide behind the mask, to hide the hurt. God, there are many of us that don't understand everything. God, and maybe we never will. But we trust you. And since we trust you, God, we believe you, and we take and we place our lives in your hand. And we believe you to do it for us. I thank you right now, God, for ministering to everyone in this place tonight. I thank you for ministering to everyone, God, that's moving. They're moving. Some have not stopped, but they're on the move, which means they're on their way to healing. And I thank you for touching. I thank you for blessing. I thank you for moving for them now. And I give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen. The Lord bless you and the Lord keep you tonight. Thank you so much for your prayers and love. Tomorrow night, hey, Brother Richardson, tomorrow night, many of you have asked, I don't know if I have it on here. Many of you have asked when the service, when they'll view the service for my sister Duranis. It will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to see she wanted, her request was to have a concert in her memory. And so we've done that. Tomorrow night, we're going to share it with you. You can view it on, and someone can type this in. You can view it on DuranisApace.com. DuranisApace.com. That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to view that tomorrow night. So please do that. DuranisApace.com. You'll be able to see that service on tomorrow, and we would love for you to be a part of that. Those of you that's been wondering about it. You can do that on tomorrow. Let me type that here. I think I got that. I hate this spell check thing. Sometimes it makes your stuff up. All right. I think I got it in there. All right. You can view that tomorrow and be a part of that tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I appreciate you for doing so. Keep praying for my family. Keep praying for the Pace family. Keep praying for Lady Martin. Just keep her in prayer. Keep holding her up. Keep, she's on her way, but just keep praying for her. And we're going to keep praying for you. We're praying for the Miller family, praying for the Fifes family. They lost their mother. Praying for the Green family still in Virginia. So many that have transitioned. We're praying for Bishop Porter. He lost his mother. Just a whole lot going on. We need one another, and we really need each other. So let's keep loving and praying for one another. The Lord bless you, and the Lord keep you is my prayer. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. I really appreciate you. The Lord bless you, and the Lord keep you is my prayer. God bless you, Pastor Johnson. We'll see y'all on next week.